What does the album Yours Truly mean to you, and how does it reflect the album?
The title of the album, Yours Truly, kind of reflects on my journey within music. When I first started out back in 2019, I had absolutely no idea where I wanted to go with music. At the time, I was still performing keyboard with some of our very, very famous artists, namely either Salim John, Salman John Jahani, Najim John and Awabi, and there's so many other great artists that I have so much respect for that I performed with. But at the time, I was not really focused on singing as more of a focus in my life. However, as time progressed, I started to notice that the cover songs were getting a little bit older, and I know that personally myself, this was not really what I wanted to do. So I delved into a world of, how can I change my music for the better? How can I bring a new flavor to my music? And it just so happened.
Samir Roashan.
زیادی دیدم باران میکنم یار دلم را موج جوشن میکنم یار به نالم تا سحرگاه از فراقت تو را چون خود پریشان میکنم یار Emotions get you see my love fills up oceans قسم میدارم میدانی یعنی در پلوی من میمانی یعنی بیا در دل سخن نگفته دارم پس اینم موج خون خفته دارم بیا که قامتی صبرم شکسته تو نیستی حالتی آشفته دارم زیابری دیده باران میکنم یار دلم را موج جوشن میکنم یار به نالم تا سحرگاه از فراقت تو را چون خود پریشان میکنم یار من با زندان عشق تو زنجیرم باز کن دست و پای بسته من زیابری دیده باران میکنم یار دلم را موج جوشن میکنم یار به نالم تا سحرگاه از فراقت تو را چون خود پریشان میکنم یار زیابری دیده باران میکنم یار Why you gotta toy with my emotions Can't you see my love fills up به نالم تا سحرگاه از فراقت قسم میدارم میدونی یعنی در پلوی من میمانی تو را چون خود پریشان میکنم یار
You are known for bringing a new, modern style to the Afghan music scene. What motivates you to push this change forward?
I think of it less as motivation as much as I do working on myself personally, because unfortunately, I spent the first few years of my musical career, well, I wouldn't say unfortunately actually, because I feel like those cover songs that I did release for all those years brought me closer to my Afghan people, and I personally feel like that was the best way that I could have introduced myself to the Afghan community. However, when it comes to bringing change and kind of modernizing Afghan music, that's more so something that's a journey within my personal musical experience. And it's always been something that I wanted to do for myself. However, I've seen such an overwhelmingly positive response from the Afghan community in regards to this change or modernization, if you will. And I think that would serve as more so of a motivation for me to keep going and for me to, bring Afghan music up to date in terms of certain aspects of it. But obviously my goal is to never ruin the traditional cultural aspect of Afghan music. It's only about bringing a different flavor to it, if you will.
Which music video was the most challenging to shoot and why?
I think by far the funnest shoot we've had was for Zeabri Dida. And the only reason I say that is because that song is a lot more interactive. You have a lot more ad-libs going on with the, hello or the hi or those kind of things. And, I just wanted to be a little bit more hands-on with my audience, more interactive, and, I just wanted to keep them engaged. So I feel like I was able to also exude that, fun, personable character in the video as well, which it's pretty much just me. I'm pretty goofy like that. So, I think that really identifies my work and kind of what I'm trying to do in terms of, my musical journey, if you will. خب دوستان بسیار عزیز، قسمی که مشاهده میکنین فعلا ما در شوتینگ آهنگ چیزی با هستیم. چیزی با از آهنگای ساخته خودم است و شعرش فولکلور است. اگرچه آهنگ وقت به صفحه سپاتیفای، یوتیوب، اپل میوزیک نشر کردیم، همیشه آرزو داشتم که آهنگ به حساب تصویری به دوستا و عزیزان برسانم. دیگه خدا کنه که لذت ببرین و مورد علاقه همه دوستا قرار بگیرین.
چیزی با وجود نازی تو ای گل سراپا نشمه و نازی تو ای گل همه دل را با کس جز تو نگویم غم را مغرم میرازی تو ای گل نسیم صبحم بوی تو دارد شمیمیت ریگی سوی تو دارد سری عاشق هوای سجده چنده با محراب تو ابروی تو دارد چیزی با وجود نازی تو ای گل سراپا نشمه و نازی تو ای گل همه دل را با کس جز تو نگویم غم را مغرم میرازی تو ای گل شراب از چشم جادوی تو ریزد سیگلت ردوگی سوی تو ریزد میانه بسترم از شب تا سحرگاه پریشان برای موی تو ریزد لا 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 چیزی با وجود نازی تو ای گل سراپا نشمه و نازی تو ای گل همه دل را با کس جز تو نگویم غم را مغرم میرازی تو ای گل
Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo te va? Quiero saber de ti y de tu vida. Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo te va? Quiero saber de ti y de tu vida.
چیزی با وجود نازی تو ای گل سراپا نشمه و نازی
Y de tu
تو ای گل غم دل را با کس جز تو نگویم غم را مغرم میرازی
y de tu
تو ای گل
How do you deal with the expectations that come from both traditional Afghan listeners and the younger modern generation?
In regards to expectations, I feel what's more important is maintaining a standard of quality. And what I mean by that is no matter whether you release a traditional Afghan song or a more modernized Afghan song with a Western style music arrangement, it's always important that you maintain the integrity of the, quality of the project itself. And what I mean by that is obviously a proper video, proper audio, proper team working on the mastering of the track, those types of things. I think those things are very important. And, when it comes down to the traditional Afghan tracks versus the modern tracks that I try to, push out a little bit more lately, I will never, ever, ever lose the love that I have for traditional Afghan music. It's something that I still practice on a daily basis, something that I still listen to on a daily basis. But I feel like for my own personal musical journey, it makes sense to take this step forward. And I feel like the response that I've received from the younger generation is kind of what helps me out when it comes to gauging what they want, because I've been able to use the previous album that we released, A New Era, to kind of gauge where the younger generation's heads are at. So I think that kind of helps me out.
What do you wish for the future of the Afghan music industry?
I think my wishes for the Afghan music industry are pretty straightforward, and that's just for everybody to have true and real love for each other and for every one of us to just help each other out. I think that the younger generation of Afghans is at a disadvantage because there are lesser helping hands, willing to help them out when it comes to lyrics, compositions, arrangements, that kind of thing. And I feel like that's where I try to connect with the younger generation of Afghans. مثلا شعرهای را انتخاب میکنم یا تصنیف‌ها را انتخاب میکنم با آهنگا که یک معنا داشته باشن، یک ستوری داشته باشن، اما از نگاه موزیک ارنجمنتش یک چیز باشه که با طبقه جوان آفام باشه، آسان باشه و یک چیز باشه که that they would enjoy, like something that they can relate to because they live in America and they hear all these different types of music on a daily basis. And I guess the thought that's always in the back of my head is, why are younger Afghans not listening to Afghan music? That was kind of like the burning question, if you will. Why are younger Afghans not listening or relating to Afghan music? And I feel like this year, both my albums, A New Era and yours truly, can identify to the cause of wanting to connect to the younger generation of Afghans and giving them some material, some content to listen to that makes them proud to say, hey, I'm an Afghan living in America.
با دل دادی حس خوش عاشقانه توی بهترین آرزوی یگانه هوای خوش نغمه ها و ترانه با دل دادی حس خوش عاشقانه برفت و شمع سر نفس از تن من سیگان نگاهت بردی دل و دینم برفت و شمع سر نفس از تن من سیگان نگاهت بردی دل و دینم
Todo más bonito cuando ando con mi pana vacilando. La vida buena con mi pana cuando ando vacilando. Todo más bonito cuando ando con mi pana vacilando. La vida buena con mi pana cuando ando vacilando.
غزل می نویسم با یاد لبان تو زود می شود خلوتم شیرانه غزل می نویسم با یاد لبهای تو زود می شود خلوتم شیرانه برفت و شمع سر نفس از تن من سیگان نگاهت بردی دل و دینم برفت و شمع سر نفس از تن من سیگان نگاه
To those who don't know, my music taste is pretty all over the place in the sense that I love to listen to all types of different music, but I have a special thing, I guess you could say a special interest in Spanish music, and a lot of my music is heavily influenced by Spanish music with the guitars, the maracas, the congas, the bongos. I wanted to create something within that same feel of like a reggaeton. یک چیزی باشه که مثلا هم با طبقه جوان قسمی که به حساب آهنگای دیگه از این آلبوم باست که هم با طبقه جوان لذت بخش باشه هم با بزرگا همراه با مثلا تصنیف‌های پرمانا دیگه زیاد پرحرفی نمیکنم خدا کنه که انشالله همه شما نازنینا از این آهنگ لذت ببرید.
What can we expect from you next? Are there already plans for future projects?
There's always plans for future projects. مگم at the end of the day کل پلانا به خداوند معلوم است ببینیم که خداوند چی تصمیم داره. Well, yes, there's always plans for future projects and future collaborations that I think you guys are going to be very surprised by. So make sure that you guys ring that bell icon, subscribe to ALMC Records for more. It's coming.
How was your experience with ALMC Records?
I don't think I've worked with anybody that shares the same vision that I do. And I think that ALMC Records makes it very, very easy to relate in terms of vision. At the end of the day, I think as long as you want something really, really good, you're going to be in good hands. هر چیز به مو وقت خود میشه دوستای عزیز باور کنین به خدا این کار رو ما 2 سال پیش میخواستیم بکنیم و متاسفانه که خود ما مقدر اکثر از کارهایی که مثلا میخواستم که پیش ببرم یا انجام بدم آهنگایی که مثلا از خود داشته باشم مگر که آهنگای کاور میخواندم از هنرمندایی که من خودم بسیار زیاد علاقه‌مندشان هستم ولی امسال پیش خود احساس کردم که I have to stay true to myself. Hence the title, yours truly.
غزل می نویسم